Good morning, everyone. In the last lecture, we discussed the bounded input, bounded output stability. Now, some other conditions of stability on the basis of roots, that is, relationship between characteristic equation roots and stability. Relationship between characteristic equation roots and stability. So, what is the relation between characteristic equation roots and stability? Means what will be the uh, stability status on the basis of characteristic equation roots. So, uh, let us suppose our roots are in the left half of S plane, that is S is equal to minus A, first condition. S is equal to minus A, it means if it is j omega and this is sigma S plane, then minus A will be here, right? Minus A will be here. So, the roots lie in the left half of S plane, then what will be the condition for stability? In this case, if I calculate GT, the impulse response, what will be GT? Inverse Laplace of GS. Inverse Laplace of GS, and on calculating this, we will get here from here k e raised to at, sorry, minus at, k e raised to minus at. And in this case, if I draw a graph between gt and t, if I draw a graph between gt and t, then this graph will be like this. And it is clear from graph, that as time reaches infinity, the magnitude of this plot, means magnitude of gt, reaches 0. Means it converges. It converges, and therefore the system is stable. And therefore the system is stable. Case 2, if the roots lie in the right half of S plane. Roots means poles of the system. Roots of the characteristic equation means poles of the system. So, if the poles of the system lie in the right half of S plane, it means here I have A in the right half of S plane. In this case, GT becomes K e raised to AT. And the graph of this GT with respect to t is like this. And clearly it can be seen that as time reaches infinity, the GT grows rapidly towards infinity. It means the graph is diverging, and therefore the system is unstable. Graph is diverging and therefore the system is unstable. Case 3. Case 3. If the system has poles at origin, it means S is equal to 0. That is, in the S plane, poles are at origin. In this case, GT will become equal to K, or simply in the ramp case, this will be equal to KT. And ramp, when we will get ramp, when I'll have double pole at origin. When I'll have a double pole at origin, then GT will be like KT. This is the case of double pole, and this is the case of single pole. Single pole at origin, then GT will be equal to K. Double pole at origin, then GT will be equal to KT. And in the first case, in case of single pole, the graph will be like this, a constant line. And in case of double pole, GT will be like this. This is single pole. This one is double pole. Right? When the poles are at origin, then we have two conditions. First, I have single pole at origin. If I have single pole at origin, then GT will be equal to K. And if I have double pole at origin, then GT will be equal to KT. And GT is equal to K. If I plot it with respect to T, then I find this graph which is constant at K, and for double pole I find this graph. So this value, this graph is confined on K, centered on K. For single value, single change in the system, for single change in the system, or for a single pole which is right side of the S plane, the system may become unstable, and for a single pole which is lie left to the S plane and not on the imaginary axis, this system may become stable. Right? So this case is for marginal stability. And obviously this is unstable. unstable, because the graph is diverging. Graph is diverging, right? So first three cases are S is equal to minus A, means the poles are at the left of the S plane. In that case, the graph is converging and the system is stable. Second case, a real pole in the right half of S plane. If a real pole is there in right half of S plane, graph will be diverging and the system will be unstable. The third case, a real pole at origin. We have two cases in this. First, single pole at origin, and second, double pole at origin. If single pole is there, then system is marginally stable, and if double pole is there, the system is unstable, right? Next case, case 4. A complex pole on the left half of S plane, that is S is equal to minus sigma plus minus j omega. Minus sigma plus minus j omega, it means the pole placement will be like minus sigma and here j omega. So one pole is here and one pole is here, right? This is the pole placement, pole configuration. ठीक है? In this case, GT becomes 2k e raised to minus sigma t cos omega t. 2k e raised to minus sigma t cos omega t. And the graph between GT and T will be like this. Graph will be like this. And since the graph is converging, the system is stable. The system is stable. It means whether a real pole or a complex pole lie in the left half of the S plane, the system is always stable. Next, fifth, a complex pole in the right half of S plane, sigma plus minus j omega. Now the pole configuration will be like this. Means I have poles in the right half, complex poles in the right half of S plane. In this case, GT will become 2k e raised to sigma t cos omega t, and its graph can be drawn like like this. And clearly it can be seen that the graph is diverging and the system is unstable. It means whether a real pole or a complex pole lie in the right half of the S plane, the system is always unstable. The system is always unstable. Next, sixth point. Sixth case, a complex pole at origin means imaginary poles are there plus minus j omega. So pole representation will be like this. Pole representation will be like this, and the GT will be K 2K cos omega t, and its graph between GT and T will be like this. This one is damped case, damped response. Damped case, or I can say under damped case. This is over damped case, and this one is undamped. Undamped case, and system is marginally stable. The system is marginally stable. So this is the relationship between characteristic equation roots and stability. Characteristic equation roots and stability. Now next is zero input and asymptotic stability. So for zero input and asymptotic stability, we should know what is zero input stability and what is asymptotic stability. Of continuous data system. Zero input and asymptotic stability of continuous data system. So first, zero input stability. zero input stability. It refers to the stability condition when the input is zero. When the input is zero and the system is driven only by its initial condition. Zero input stability refers to the stability condition when the input is zero and the system is driven only by its initial condition. कि जब सिर्फ इनिशियल कंडीशन की वजह से आपका सिस्टम ड्राइव हो रहा हो, रिस्पॉन्स आ रहा हो, उस टाइम पे जब हम स्टेबिलिटी चेक करेंगे, दैट विल बी जीरो इनपुट स्टेबिलिटी, राइट. Let the input of an nth order system be zero and the output due to the initial conditions be yt. Let the input of an nth order system be zero. Input हमने मान लिया zero for zero input stability and the output due to the initial conditions only be the yt. Then yt will be equal to summation k is equal to 0 to n minus 1 gkt yk t naught. gkt multiplied by yk t naught, where yk t naught is equal to dk yt over dtk at t is equal to t naught. And gkt denotes the zero input response due to yk t naught. So yk t naught is dk yt over dtk when t is equal to t naught, and gkt is the zero input response due to yk t naught. The system is said to be zero input stable. The system is said to be zero input stable or simply stable if the zero input response yt, if the zero input response yt due to finite initial condition yk t naught reaches 0 as t approaches infinity. And this is the condition for the stability of any system, that the response of the system reaches 0 as t approaches infinity. So, for the system is said to be zero input stable, what is the condition for zero input stability? The condition is as time reaches infinity, yt reaches 0. As time reaches infinity, yt reaches 0 when driven only by the initial condition yk t naught. When driven only by the initial condition yk t naught. Right? So, this is the condition for zero input stability. An LTI system is zero input stable if for any set of finite yk t naught there exists a positive number m such that modulus of yt is less than or equal to m, which is less than infinity, and as time reaches infinity, modulus of yt reaches 0. As time reaches infinity, modulus of yt reaches 0. Since modulus of yt reaches 0 as time approaches infinity, the zero input stability is also known as asymptotic stability. Means as time reaches infinity, if the response reaches to 0, this is called asymptotic stability. Therefore, zero input stability and asymptotic stability both are the same thing. Zero input stability and the asymptotic stability both are the same thing. Right? Now, method of determining stability. Methods of determining stability. Will move to this topic in the next class or in the next video. Right? Thank you.